Hey guys, happy Tuesday. It's Joe. It's time for Pocket with Joe. We've got 10 games on the ice today. Plenty of opportunities to make some money. Good to see you guys here. Welcome in to Matt, Ben, and James. Let's get this money today. Okay, guys, like I said, 10 games. Let's kick it off fast here in this one. Benji, hi to you as well. The first game, we got a repeat of what we saw last night between the Detroit Red Wings and the Ottawa Senators. Now, in last night's game, the Ottawa Senators came out so nice and strong, and it was funny because Detroit actually came out stronger to start that game, but the Sens able to get the win. It was a 6-2 win for them. Sogard expected in goal for them tonight. They're coming in around -135 on the money line. Here we got the Detroit Red Wings at +112. Husso confirmed in goal for them. Now, Husso has been solid on the season with a 2.83 goals against average. This matchup, though, I can't get behind the Red Wings with what we saw out of them last night. Yes, instant revenge, but instant revenge on Ottawa's ice, I'm not buying into it. If you need to bet this one, I don't recommend betting this one. I think the best way to go is just to take the Sens here on the money line. But what I like better is looking at that over. I expect these goals to come in again tonight. Yes, Husso is a better goalie, and he should stop more. And Sogard is good here too. But I think with what we saw out of these teams last night, we are looking at another high-scoring battle in this one. So big shout-out to each and every one of you. Let's make some freaking money. The Avs absolutely rolling so dominantly strong. I could not believe what they were able to do to Vegas last night, Benji. You are right. Shout out to JP. And yes, the Sens are steamrolling. You're absolutely right, Benji, because they do want this wild card spot bad. So take the Senators here on that money line and the over 6.5. You can look at the Sens team total as well to that over. Now, when we look at the next matchup, 7 o'clock Eastern, we have the Florida Panthers taking on the Tampa Bay Lightning. Now, in this matchup, Tampa's coming in at -106 +146. For the Florida Panthers, we've got a great goaltending matchup here with Bobrovsky and Andrei Vasilevskiy. We've got a total that is high at 7. Now, the Florida Panthers are off that loss to the Buffalo Sabres. They lost that one 3-1. And we're looking at a Tampa Bay Lightning team that is home. They're off a loss to the Penguins. That was a 7-3 loss. They are facing the Penguins again on Thursday. So they've got the Penguins again on deck. Now, this is a battle of the Atlantic with the Florida Panthers sitting 6th in the Atlantic and the Tampa Bay Lightning sitting 3rd. We saw this matchup back in earlier February, and the Florida Panthers got a nice big win, 7-1. This is a game where, although I know Florida is without a couple of players here, I think they're still able to get the win. The plus money with the Florida Panthers is hard to deny in this one. But Andrei Vasilevskiy, we know he can absolutely stand on his head in some of these games. When we look at the Florida Panthers, we know they're able to get these shots on goal at 36.6 shots on goal on average per game. And we know the Tampa Bay Lightning are allowing these shots to come in. So this is one where I like Matthew Tkachuk here, looking at his shots on goal, taking it to the over, looking at some of those other top players where you think they're going to come in and get those shots on goal tonight. I think it's a great way to go. Now, Barkov and Bennett still out of this game, so don't take their shots on goal. If the books, some of these books, I tell you, some of the smaller books will still put up some players shots on goal when there's no way they can get them. So be careful with your books out there. I've heard a couple of people complaining about that. With the Florida Panthers here off a loss, they normally bounce back. They've won their last 4 games following a loss. They have struggled versus the Tampa Bay Lightning, but I think there's an opportunity for them to play strong here. Not sure if I really like what I saw out of the Tampa Bay Lightning in that last game versus the Penguins, and it makes me kind of stay off them. I think Andrei Vasilevskiy is absolutely solid. I'm looking at, though, this one I think that those shots come in by the Florida Panthers, but I think this one, even though it's terrifying to take the under, probably stays under that total. Total 7, I just don't love it. To the over, I think this game, worst case scenario, it's 4-3. We get that push. I really do think this is probably more of a 3-2 game. I really do think this goaltending matchup, these defenses, what they're able to do, should be able to keep this lower scoring. Now, if you think like Benji thinks with Tampa Bay wanting revenge, they're going to step up. Their defense is going to play so solid, so tight. And I do think Andre Vasilevsky plays a hell of a good game. So I think this one stays under. I think those shots on goal still come in by the Florida Panthers, but I do think this is a lower scoring one. And I think the Panthers have the value. And you're looking, Kelly, looking at that under too. So yeah, there is some strong trends to that under. It's really crazy to look at when you look at the under trends between these two, because we know how many goals each of these teams is able to put out. This is a battle of the Atlantic. This is like playoff hockey here tonight. We're not going to see over 7s in playoff hockey. I don't think so, at least, you guys. So this is going to be quite the game. A new member alert. Thank you so much for becoming a new member. I appreciate it. Let's make some freaking money today, you guys. I tell you, Panthers, I really hope they get it done in this one for that plus money. It's going to be a battle. It's going to come down to a little bit of puck luck. Now, the Columbus Blue Jackets have been playing some better hockey as of late. Now we know we lost the last one with the Wild. They lost that one 3-2. But the game before that against Edmonton Oilers with Corpostello in goal was absolutely incredible. If Corpostello was in goal tonight, I would be so excited to take the Columbus Blue Jackets here, but he's not. Elvis is in the building. And now with Elvis in goal, and I know he played a solid game the last time we saw him out, I still cannot trust him. I really do think James is right. This is an over game all day long, especially with Elvis in goal. We're also looking at Anderson is confirmed for the Buffalo Sabres, and I do love what we see now to Anderson. But looking at the offensive abilities of the Buffalo Sabres, this one screams goals all day, especially on this Columbus Blue Jackets defense. And we know Columbus was able to score on Edmonton, so I do expect Anderson to let in a couple as well, helping with this total of 6.5. I was actually shocked this one hasn't moved to 7. I think we probably will see the juice continue to go up on the over 6.5 in this one. The last time these teams played, Buffalo went over this total themselves. They got 9 goals. Columbus got 4. We had a super high scoring one back in December. I expect the Buffalo Sabres to go over their team total here. Look at Tage Thompson for his anytime goal. Look at him for his shots on goal. We know the Columbus Blue Jackets average and allowed 35 shots on goal per game and 3.69 goals per game. So this is going to come in, you guys. We know we're going to get these shots tonight. We know Elvis is so vulnerable. That puck could be 4 times the size and he still would have struggles saving it. And yes, he had an okay game last time, but this is not the Elvis that he has played in past seasons. He's just not doing well. So I do think the Buffalo Sabres can cover the puck line here. -1.5 on that puck line is +115. I'd look at Buffalo Sabres in that first period as well. To cover that puck line in the first period, I think it's a great way to go. I'd look at the over 1.5 in that first period as well. Now, with how the Blue Jackets have been playing as of late, I've been flirting a little bit with the both teams to score in the first period because we know Columbus should come in here. Even though they lost that last game, they put up a fight versus the Wild. They should come in with confidence after what they were able to do against the Edmonton Oilers, who have a weak defense. Now, we look at the Buffalo Sabres, another team that has a weak defense. Yes, stronger goaltending than the Edmonton Oilers, but this defense is still allowing 3.48 goals per game on average and 32.9 shots. Very, very similar to what we see out of the Edmonton Oilers. So I do think we see Columbus come in with confidence, see Columbus be able to get these goals. So it should be a good game here. Tage Thompson, absolutely, for those shots on goal. And yeah, it's not going to matter here. It's Columbus, and we know Columbus played fantastic against Edmonton. One thing to remember, you guys, when you see Edmonton play a day game, they normally play games like we saw against Columbus. Now, Columbus's main bonus in that game was Corpostello, he just played absolutely fantastic in net. He's looking for a new home. I can guarantee you that. Corpostello played phenomenal. Edmonton, day games, not good. They're not a team to bet on day games. I don't know why. I don't know why they can't play during the day. Okay. Let's look at the next game on the board. This one is tricky. We got the LA Kings taking on the Winnipeg Jets. Winnipeg has lost their last 3 games. Last game, they got shut out. Now, there was a late goaltending change here with David Reach coming in instead of Connor Hellebuck. I hate that. That was versus the Islanders, and that drives me absolutely insane when they do these late goalie changes. Hellebuck is expected tonight. I don't see why we wouldn't see Hellebuck in goal tonight. If Hellebuck is in goal, I love what we've seen out of the LA Kings. I absolutely have, and I hate betting against this Kings team with Copley in goal, but I do think if it's Connor Hellebuck tonight, you got to go with the Winnipeg Jets. If it's anyone but Connor Hellebuck, I got to go with the LA Kings. So as of now, Connor Hellebuck expected. I am taking the Jets at home, and I'm taking the under. And I know that's scary with what we've seen out of the LA Kings, but the Jets at home and the under, if you just took that all year long, you would be making money here. I just cannot get there with an over with this Winnipeg Jets team. They've been struggling, but not versus the Pacific. That is one really interesting thing. They have won their last 5 games versus the Pacific. We know the Kings sitting second in the Pacific. They're off that loss to the New York Rangers. Thank God the Rangers came out and played in that one. I hate going against the Kings. Like I said, we were riding the Rangers in that one, so that was a nice win for us. I do think with Copley in goal for the Kings and Hellebuck in goal for the Winnipeg Jets, we stay under this total. Now, the under is trending between these two with 9 of the last 11 meetings, hitting that under, and 5 of the last 6 meetings between these two in Winnipeg, hitting that under. And the Kings, when they played a really sloppy game like they did versus the Rangers defensively, they end up locking it down in the next game. So they allowed 5 goals in that game to the New York Rangers. When we've seen them in a situation where they've allowed 5 or more goals in their previous game, they've gone 7-1-1 to that under. So give me the under, give me the Winnipeg Jets as long as Connor Hellebuck is in goal. Hellebuck is confirmed, but you're on the Kings. JP, why are you going against Connor Hellebuck in goal? I can't go against Connor Hellebuck. I love the Kings though here, so I wish you the best. And Johnny, I like that no score in the first 10 minutes. I definitely could see it coming in unless one goalie makes one big terrible mistake. Anthony also taking Winnipeg and the total. I know. I like the Kings. Come on, Becky, big shout out to you. This is a must win for the Jets. They really need to get things going. They're sitting 4th in the Central right now. Jets at home, I cannot believe they got shut out by the Islanders. This team is going to be playing the heck out of this game. Anthony, shout out to you too. Senators cashed and the over. Senators did cash in the over. Good one on that. Let's go to the next game here. We got the New York Islanders off that win over the Jets, coming in as a dog versus the Minnesota Wild. Now, I don't know about you guys. I have a hard time trusting this Islanders team. They've been so inconsistent, but Sorokin is absolutely incredible in goal, and he's expected in goal for them tonight. Gustafsson for the Minnesota Wild here. Now, this total is sitting at 5.5, and let me just double check. I don't have my odds screen up here. Let me just pull it back up. That we are seeing still a total of 5.5, and this hasn't moved down to 5 because I really can see this line moving by the end or before this game kicks off down to that 5.5, or sorry, that 5. And it has the over 5 is now -142, the under 5 at +116 in this matchup between the Islanders and the Minnesota Wild. Now, it was at 5.5 earlier today. I liked it under at 5.5. This is a hard one to take the under when it's at 5, but I still do think, I think this is a 2-1 style game all day. Now, the Islanders have been picking up a little bit of steam as for goals, but this Wild team is so strong defensively. What they've been able to do against some of these teams that normally average a lot more goals is incredible. So I still have to ride the under 5. Do I feel comfortable with it? Not as much. 3-2, worst case scenario with that push. I really do think this is a 2-1 style game here. I look at what the Jets were able to do the Islanders were able to do versus the Jets containing them. And they scored 4, but they didn't let the Jets score any in that game. And we saw the Wild against a Columbus Blue Jackets team that is not strong defensively, only put up 3. They tend to do that. They put up the goals, they get comfortable in their position, and they play a solid defensive game. So I do expect defense all day in this one. Gustafsson and Sorokin expected in goal. Give me the under 5. Not feeling too comfortable in this one. The under in the first period would be another nice way to go. But sometimes in these situations where we see these top goalies, that's when those, first goals come in. I don't think we see 2 goals in that first period, though. Johnny's saying no score in the first 10 minutes. That was the other one. Sorokin expected but not confirmed. Yeah, and that's the thing. Wait until you see which goalie is in. If this is Sorokin of Gustafsson, I do think the edge in goaltending goes to Sorokin. But for the Islanders to pull off another road upset, I think this is an under, and I think that's the way you have to go. Wild's team total under, absolutely. What are you getting their team total at? I'm actually interested to see what both these team totals are. I'm just going to pull it up on my books. The Islanders team total under 2.5 is minus 152. The Wild's team total under 2.5 is plus 100. So interesting line there. 2-1 game, or do we have a 3-2 game, you guys? That is the biggest question mark. And then we got that total at 5.5. So I might pay a little bit of extra juice if you are liking that under like I am. I honestly got it earlier at 5.5. I still do like it to the 5. Pay the extra juice, buy up that 0.5 point. And then if you get a 3-2 game, you are not getting that push, you guys. The next game on the board, the Pittsburgh Penguins and the Nashville Predators. Tristan Jarry and Saros expected here. The Penguins coming in here as the favorite on the road, around minus 135 here. This team is sitting 5th in the Metro. We have the Nashville Predators sitting 5th in the Central. The Penguins, they've won their last 2 games. They got that big win over the Lightning on Sunday. This team is trending solidly at the moment. They're getting these wins. Nashville has won their last 3, though, their last game over the Coyotes. So I'm not too impressed with the win over the Coyotes. I didn't think the Penguins would be able to come out and beat the Tampa Bay Lightning, but they did get that win. I think the only way I could take this would be the Penguins on the money line, but I do think the over 6.5 is in play as well, because I do think the Nashville Predators, they will have to put up the goals to keep relevant with the Penguins in this. And we know the Penguins trending nicely to that over, and the Predators, their last 5 games going over the total as well, being able to score more than less as of late. So in this one, I got to go with the Penguins. Penguins 17-7 in the last 24 meetings over the Nashville Predators. Now we have seen the Preds play solid at home so far this season. They're sitting 16-10-2-1 at home. I'm just not buying it. I think the Penguins are playing really strong. Now, Ryan Russ, though, of the Nashville Predators is someone you could look at if you're looking for an anytime goal. He's scored a goal in 3 of the last 4 games versus the Predators when he's been at home. So that is someone to look at in this game if you're looking for a play on Nashville in this one. But I do think the Penguins get it done. The next game on the board here, we got the Seattle Kraken taking on the St. Louis Blues. Now, the Blues coming in as a home dog. This team desperate for a win. They've lost their last 5 games. Last 2 games have gone to overtime, so they actually have been staying pretty competitive in these games. They lost to the Penguins. That was a 3-2 loss. Now we have the Seattle Kraken rolling in here. They've lost their last 3. They're dropping in the Pacific. This team was sitting first in the Pacific a couple weeks ago, now sitting 4th in the Pacific. Both of these teams going to be hungry, going to be digging deep for this win. Now, the Kraken won the last matchup 5-2 back in December. Both these teams able to put up the goals, but I really do like what we've been seeing out of the defense of the St. Louis Blues as of late. Glimpses of hope also out of Jordan Binnington for this team. I don't know, you guys. I think this one, I know how strong both of these offenses are. I can see and make a case for the St. Louis Blues getting the win here. They have owned the Kraken. In the last 5 meetings, they've won 4 of those meetings versus the Seattle Kraken. I don't love it. We know the Blues have got rid of like absolutely everyone. So I'm not going to get us onto a side here. But I do think they have the opportunity. I think because of Jordan Binnington, what we've seen out of him as of late, the Seattle Kraken expected to start Martin Jones here. They got the win, or they got the loss to the Toronto Maple Leafs on Sunday. That was a 5-1 loss. This is their first game of a 4-game home trip. So normally teams, when they've been playing bad, they head out on the road. They normally dig deep and get that win. I think this is a hard place to go between these two teams. I like the value here on the St. Louis Blues. I'm not going to bet it, but I do like this under 6. And I just want to see if there's been any movement on what we're getting, the under 6 at -104. I do know these teams can score, but I do think we're going to start seeing these defenses come alive. We look at the Seattle Kraken. They are limiting opponents to 27.9 shots on goal per game. St. Louis Blues allowing these shots to come in, but like I said, we've seen more life out of Jordan Binnington as of late. So give me the under 6 in this one. I am going to absolutely 100% hold my breath in this one, as this is one of those games where I will know in the first 5 minutes of this game if this game is staying under that total. We will, like, honestly, there will either be really quick goals coming in and the total will be gone, or we will be able to rest easy until that third period when we're afraid of that empty netter. The next game on the board, I don't even want to talk about this one, you guys. The Boston Bruins taking on the Calgary Flames. Calgary plus 112 here, -134 for the Boston Bruins. Bruins got us a win last night. Thank God. I was getting really nervous on that. I grabbed the Boston Bruins. If you guys caught me on Sports Grid the night before, they were -130 the night before versus the Edmonton Oilers, up to -140 the next morning. The Bruins came out able to get the win, but I tell you, Edmonton did not give up in that game. Now, Bruins are on the Alberta double-double, down to Calgary, Ullmark in goal. And I still question why Boston put Swayman in goal last night, Swayman, instead of Ullmark, because I do think Edmonton is the harder team to defeat here. Now, backing Calgary makes me want to throw up in this one. But everyone and their mother and their grandmother is on Boston. Got 67% of people on Boston here. I don't want to back Calgary. Dan Vladar will be in goal tonight. He's got a 2.86 goals against average. And big shout out to Jacob Markstrom. His wife and him just welcomed the birth of their first baby. I believe it was a little girl, if memory is right. I read that this morning. I'm so terrible. But Calgary has lost their last 2 games, and we have the Boston Bruins winning their last 7, sitting first in the Atlantic. To go against the Boston Bruins in this situation is absolutely awful, because they're 6-1 in their last 7 games, playing on 0 days rest. So it's not like you can fade them on the back-to-back. Calgary, 15-11, 1-1 at home. Boston, 22-6-1 on the road, 20-10 on the road on that puck line. Calgary 7-21 at home on that puck line. It's not nice. It's not nice at all. I think if anything, we can look at this total and feel sick also riding that under. We know how explosive Calgary can be when they decide to get these shots on goal and actually find the back of a net. But this is Ullmark in goal tonight, who only allows an average of 1.86. The Boston Bruins limit opponents to 29.3 shots on goal per game and hold them to an average of 2.08 goals per game. Calgary has done phenomenally, especially in the first period, limiting their opponent's ability to get these shots on goal. They're holding opponents to 27 shots on goal per game. I think I got to go with the under in this one. Again, this is another one. You guys, I'm going to be holding my breath. I think Calgary has been playing solid to start these games. We took them the last time in that first period. That didn't cash. I'm going to have faith again in Calgary in the first period. This is where we're seeing their strongest performances in that first period. We're going to get plus money with them in the first period. Other than that, I don't want to touch the end of this game with Calgary. Can they pull off this upset? Yes. But Boston is strong on back-to-backs. Boston is first in the Atlantic. Calgary sucks right now, you guys. They are my team. I know my team. I know their struggles. So I'm going to go with Calgary in the first period to get the win. I just need them to play solid 20 minutes here over the Boston Bruins, who have traveled down to Edmonton. It is snowy and cold here in Calgary. So hopefully the Boston Bruins had a late night last night and they're freezing up here today. I don't know, you guys. I just got to go the under. Calgary first period. Yeah, you do. You should ride the Boston train till it. Okay, so my dog is coughing. I don't know what that means. If the dogs are barking, we'd say Calgary. The dog is coughing. She's choking on her food, I think. Oh, that might mean the dogs are choking tonight, you guys. That's exactly just what happened to my little chihuahua. Okay, let's move on to the 9 o'clock Eastern matchup between the Chicago Blackhawks and the Arizona Coyotes. Now, this one, let's just see if we've got any line movement in this one. We've got plus 158 here for the Chicago Blackhawks, who do not want to lose and get Connor Bedard, which is really weird. And we have the Arizona Coyotes coming in here at minus 192 on the money line. That's pretty gross. Minus 1.5 here for the Coyotes is plus 126, plus 1.5 here for the Chicago Blackhawks, minus 152, total of 6.5. Stalick is expected here for the Chicago Blackhawks. They did lose their last game. Arizona has lost their last two, but which team has been playing stronger? The Blackhawks seem to be getting wins. So the Canadians, I tell you, like these lower teams, they just need to stop winning and start doing things. This is a good place to stay away. I see your guys' comments coming up. It is a really good one. Dogs are choking. Yeah, dogs are choking. That probably means Calgary chokes tonight again. There you guys go. Keep note of that. If my chihuahua chokes on her food in the kitchen because I could hear her coughing, the dogs are choking. Now, looking at the Blackhawks, you guys, they are 5-2 in the last 7 meetings versus the Anaheim Ducks. So there is value on them here. They are also 12-5 in the last 17 meetings in Arizona. The Coyotes team total is an interesting one to look at. Their team total over 3.5 is coming in here at minus 106, and I don't hate it. I do think we're going to see the goals coming in this game. I could see the Arizona Coyotes putting up 4 goals. I think I'm just going to take the full game over the 6.5. This line has moved up from 6 to 6.5. We've got strong trends. Last 10 games in Arizona, 7 of those have gone over. 1 of those has pushed. Their last game was February 10th, I believe. This was a 4-3 win for the Chicago Blackhawks. The Blackhawks trending to that over on the road as well. 4-0-1 in their last 5 road games. The Coyotes versus the Western Conference also 5-0-1 in their last 6 versus the Western Conference. So give me the over in this. You know, the Blackhawks really struggle on a back-to-back. I am not going to lay here minus 192 with the Arizona Coyotes. I don't trust them on the puck line to save my life. They're 14-11, though, at home on that puck line. They are the Chicago Blackhawks 12-16. Arizona should be able to cover it. I don't believe it. I'm going to take the Coyotes team total over 3.5 if I had to pick something sidewise, but I do think this one just takes the over 6.5. Yeah, Chihuahuas are quite funny. Yeah, if Ingrid comes in, that definitely will be a better way to take the Arizona Coyotes. You can't trust the Blackhawks on the back-to-back. Rangers, did they just get Patrick Kane? Oh my God, I did not see this, JP, because I was looking right before we went on. That is so exciting that Patrick Kane has gone to the Rangers. There we go, you guys. Super exciting news. The Rangers are going to be absolutely unstoppable. Wow, that is going to be fantastic. I love to see it. Okay, the next game on the board, the Montreal Canadiens and the San Jose Sharks. Sharks coming in here as a favorite around minus 160, plus 136 for the Montreal Canadiens, expected to start Jake Allen. Now the total is 6.5. We've got Montreal. They've lost their last game to the Ottawa Senators. That was a 5-2 loss. And the Sharks have lost their last 2 Blackhawks on Saturday in a shootout. Was that last loss? That was a 4-3 loss. Now, 8th in the Atlantic here for the Montreal Canadiens, 7th in the Pacific for the San Jose Sharks. The Sharks won back in November, 4-2 or 4-0. Give me Montreal here, you guys. Montreal just, I don't know. This team just wants to keep winning. They're going to come in. We're getting plus money with this two crappy teams. The San Jose Sharks can't play at home for one. Look at their home record. 16-15, 3-5. They're 18-30, 6-6 on the season. Montreal, 25-34 on the season, 11-15, 3 on the road. I'd rather trust in the Montreal Canadiens, who can put up a fight. Yes, they're 8th in the Atlantic, and the Sharks are 7th. But you got to remember the Sharks lost Timo Mira here, and I think Montreal Canadiens, without Timo in here, will be able to get the win with that plus money, plus 136 I'm seeing. I got to take it and give me the goals in this one. I know these two teams trend to the under, but I do think this one goes over the total. I tell you, my studio door should be shut. The Chihuahua is in here, and I don't know what she is doing now. Canadians have struggled in San Jose, though, you guys. This is one of those crappy games. If you don't have to bet it, I wouldn't, but I do think if you really want to bet it, the Montreal Canadiens are playing the better hockey as of late. Both of these teams defensively allowing these goals to come in. Okay. Let's build a parlay, you guys. That is it for hockey for today. Like I said, 10 games on the board, probably about 6 that are pretty interesting. The other 4 kind of wishy-washy on what I think of those. Yeah, let me know what you think of Patrick Kane going to the Rangers, what you think of the Rangers here. I can't even wait to see how these odds have moved on the Rangers for the season. With Patrick Kane, he's going to be absolutely phenomenal. I'm just so glad he didn't go to Edmonton. There was talks of maybe Patrick Kane would go to Edmonton, but I do think they get Carlson to Edmonton. So the trade deadline happening on Friday, you guys. So we're going to see some movement. If you guys saw Demko, how strong he played for Vancouver last night, I think they're definitely looking to sell him off. Talks of Demko going to the LA Kings, which is interesting. Kings can't trust Jonathan Quick, but Copley, I think, is really solid there. Let me know where else you could see Demko go. So a couple places could use Demko, that is for sure. Edmonton could use Demko as well. What are your guys' thoughts on Edmonton picking up Demko? I don't know. It's going to be really interesting. Let's build a parlay. Let's do the best bets, and let's get out of here so you guys can get these bets in. Okay, the Detroit Red Wings and the Ottawa Senators. I think Sens take it again. I'm going to take the Senators on the money line for the parlay. I just like what I saw out of them versus the Red Wings last night. I think this one also goes over 6.5. The Florida Panthers and the Tampa Bay Lightning, shots on goal galore here. Let's look at Andrei Vasilevskiy for his save shots on goal, though, because I do think Andrei Vasilevskiy comes out, has an incredible day in this one. So let's quickly look at his. Andrei Vasilevskiy is coming out with 30.5 save shots on goal with the over at -102, and I am 100% hitting that. We know Andrei Vasilevskiy can come out so strong. The Tampa Bay Lightning allow these shots on him, and the Florida Panthers average 36.6 shots on goal per game. Andrei Vasilevskiy, over 30.5 save shots on goal tonight. This is my favorite prop of the day. I was waiting to see that number come out. I was hoping it would be under 31 so I could hit it over, and that's exactly what happened. So I'm happy in this case. So with this game, I do think the value is on the Panthers here. I don't like how the Tampa Bay Lightning have been playing, but Andrei Vasilevskiy is the difference maker. So this one can go one or two ways based on Andrei Vasilevskiy. I do think he has a strong one, but I think the Panthers probably possible to pull off the win. And at this number of 7, I'm going to hit it under. So give me the Panthers and the Lightning for the parlay under 7, which I know it is worrisome taking it under with these two teams, but like a couple you pointed out, nice solid trends to that under. The Columbus Blue Jackets and the Buffalo Sabres. Elvis is in goal, you guys, for the parlay. I'm going to throw the Sabres on the money line. Don't bet that straight up. Way too juicy straight up. But but I do think the Sabres get the win over the Columbus Blue Jackets for a best bet in this game. I look at them on that puck line. I do think they cover the puck line. It's at plus 115, laying the 1.5 here for them. Yes, they're not notoriously strong on that puck line at home, going 13-16, but Columbus, not a strong team. They have been playing better, but like I said, if this was Corpustello in goal, I would be looking at a different way to play this. With Elvis in goal, I don't trust him. So I do think this one goes over that total of 6.5 as well. Last 5 meetings have hit that over, you guys. That is a good one to also take. Tage Thompson for that anytime goal as well as his shots on goal. You know how much he's been lining up the net. The over 1.5, I think, is fantastic in that game, as well as I'm flirting with both teams to score because we know Columbus has come out in some strong games, getting those goals quick and fast. I'm just not sure if I'll pull the trigger on that one. The LA Kings and the Winnipeg Jets here. Give me Winnipeg here on the money line at home for the parlay. Winnipeg Jets money line. I love the LA Kings, but I think I can't go against Connor Hellebuyck on his home ice. Give me the under in this one. I think with this goalie matchup, we do see a lower scoring battle on the ice, and that's actually one of my favorite bets of the day, the Kings and the Jets, under 6. I know it's going to be nerve-wracking watching this because both of these teams have the ability, but we will need Connor Hellebuyck and Phoenix Copley here both to stand on their heads, and I do think they get this done. I think we're seeing the shift into playoff gear hockey. Both of these teams really need this win. Kings second in the Pacific and fourth in the Central here for the Winnipeg Jets. We saw the Kings allow way too many goals versus the Rangers, and we see them lock down after they do. And Connor Hellebuyck and the Jets at home, so solid to that under. So the Kings and Jets under 6, one of my favorite bets of the day, you guys. The next game on the ice, the New York Islanders and the Minnesota Wild. Like I said, you guys, I got this total at 5.5, loving it to the under at 5.5. Still nerve-wracking, though, because we know these teams, if they do decide to explode, can get the goals. They do have the talent, but I'm not seeing it come in this one. Not the talent. I'm seeing defense really step up in goaltending, especially with Sorokin expected here in Gustafsson. I'm going to take the under still at 5. You guys, I think it's going to be at worst a push at 3-2, but I do think this is a 2-1 style game here. With what we've seen out of the New York Islanders with their ability to limit the Jets, who do have a stronger offense, in my opinion, than the Minnesota Wild, I do think this is one that stays below that total. Just give me 1 second here, you guys. I need to just block this user. I will do it. I cannot do it. I don't know why. Okay, let's move on to the next one. The Pittsburgh Penguins here and the Nashville Predators. Kelly, overtime between the Kings and the Winnipeg Jets. That is going to be an interesting one. We could see that come in for sure. So I'm not sure if I would take it, but it could happen. The Pittsburgh Penguins and the Nashville Predators here, 8 o'clock Eastern for this one. I'm on the Penguins all day long. I'm going to take the Penguins here on the money line. We got a total of 6.5 in this game as well. I think if the Penguins win this has to go over that total. So give me the over in this one. The last time these teams played was last season. The Penguins got a 3-2 win, but the Predators really have been allowing these goals and putting up these goals as of late. I think this is a nice one to take over. If you're looking for someone to bet on from the Nashville Predators, Brian Rust has scored a goal in 3 of the Penguins' last 4 games against the Predators at home. So that is something to look at. The Seattle Kraken and the St. Louis Blues here. I think there's an ability for the St. Louis Blues to pull off the upset in this one. I'm not going to get there, though, with it. I think there is the ability of Jordan Binnington to stand on his head in this one, but he's going to have to play absolutely fantastic because the Kraken are falling down in the Pacific, now sitting 6th or 4th in the Pacific. They need to really get back in it The St. Louis Blues sold off everyone, so they shouldn't win this one, but it's Jordan Binnington who I'm trusting in this game. I also think because I'm trusting in Jordan Binnington, because I like what I've seen out of the Seattle Kraken's ability to limit their opponents' shots on goal to 27.9, I think this one stays under the total of 6. That's where I'm going to go with this one. I'm going to put the Kraken and the Blues under 6. Another way to look at this would be to look at the Blues team total under, because I don't think they have the ability to score a lot on the Seattle Kraken here. If they win this one, it's because Jordan Binnington stands on his head. It's not because they outscore the Kraken. So that's where I'm going with that game. The Calgary Flames and the Boston Bruins. You guys, outside of the parlay, I'm going to put Calgary on the money line only in the first period. I do think they're able to get the win in the first period with Boston coming in off a back-to-back. Now, we've talked about Boston on the back-to-back. They're phenomenally strong. So I do think Boston still has the opportunity to get this win. I think with Ullmark in net, if Calgary is to get the win, it's going to be a super low-scoring game here where they get a little bit of puck luck. Am I going to step in front of the Boston Bruins for the whole game? Hell no. The Boston Bruins are such a better team. They're the team I have more confidence in to get this win. So give me Calgary first period. I'm looking for plus money, way to make plus money in this game. I think this one also stays under the total of 6. I'm leaving it out of the parlay. The Chicago Blackhawks and the Arizona Coyotes, I'll also leave out of the parlay. But I do think the Coyotes team total over 3.5 at minus 106 is a solid way to go with this one. I think the over 6.5 for the full game is also a nice way to go. And the Montreal Canadiens and the San Jose Sharks. You guys, outside of the parlay, I'm going to throw Montreal here on the money line. I think there is value in this team. They don't want to lose, and they keep getting these wins. San Jose Sharks are terrible at home this season, so that is where I'm going to go. So that long shot parlay, you guys, we're going to take the Senators on the money line, the Panthers and the Lightning under 7, the Sabres on the money line, the Winnipeg Jets on the money line, the Penguins on the money line, and the Kraken and the Blues under 6. If I'm looking for best bets, I would be looking at the Kings and the Jets under 6 today. Andrei Vasilevskiy, the Tampa Bay Lightning, over 30.5 save shots on goal. I'm going to bet Calgary on the money line first period. It's not a best bet, but I'm still going to bet it, you guys. And then I think my other favorite bet would be looking at probably Matthew Tkachuk for those shots on goal, and the Winnipeg Jets and the LA Kings, that one under the total. Oh, I said that one already. That's where I'm going. Buffalo Sabres on the puck line. I love that one as well. I think the Sabres come out nice and strong, cover that puck line tonight, and send Columbus away with another loss. So that's where I'm going. I want to thank you guys all for being here today. Anthony riding with the Bruins and the Jets under. I like it. Yeah, Kraken should be in a position to win. So overtime, maybe. You guys, I really thank each and every one of you for being here, just catching up on these comments. Vancouver could use Demko as well. I don't know what Vancouver is doing, though, you guys. It is really interesting to see this team. I don't know if they need some new life in Vancouver. Okay, you guys, I appreciate each and every one of you. I have to get going. Andrei Vasilevskiy over 29.5 is minus 125. Okay, Anthony, nice way to take that, buying that down a point, getting minus 125. I really do think we can count on him to get the saves today. Like I said, looking at the Florida Panthers, one of the highest shooting teams in the league, and the Tampa Bay Lightning, they're not a team that really limits opponents. Like we look at Seattle Kraken limiting their opponents to 27. Ish. Tampa is still allowing 31.4. So we're just allowing with what they allow and with what the Florida Panthers average at 36.6. I really do think you're safe with either of these ones here. So you guys, I appreciate each and every one of you. All the best in all of your bets today. I will see you all back here at 3:30 Eastern tomorrow. Now, my Cup of Joe is up. Oh my God, my quick pick in college basketball was absolutely terrible. It was trash yesterday. We got Orlando, the Magic. I can't believe they actually won that game, but we got them plus the 4. That game did not go over, so Kappa Joe split. Kappa Joe's already posted for the day. I will get my college basketball quick pick video up ASAP. I've got one more bet to add to that. I've already filmed the first one. So you guys, have a good one. Keep smiling. Let's make some freaking money. I will see you back here tomorrow. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on when all of these videos come out. I appreciate each and every one of you. Bye now.